stop being fucking miserable, because I was miserable, just always complaining about something. Like, girl, shut the fuck up. What now? What now? I ain't gotta go through that ghetto shit no more. Because if you're a woman operating primarily from feminine energy, you will repel these sassy niggas. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome. So today I want to give you guys 5 tips that I think are necessary to make before saying I do. These are just the top shifts that I think are important if you want to get married and to have a successful, happy marriage. I have been married for 4 years now, and I have learned so much about myself during this time. And I really don't think I would be, actually, I do think I would be the woman I am today, because if I didn't learn it through marriage, and I think I would have the lessons would have come a different way. We all learn our lessons in different way. So you can learn your lessons through just serial dating. You can learn it through friendships, the dynamics with your parents, with your siblings, through coworkers, like however you choose to learn your lessons, you're going to have to go through things, and it's going to teach you, and you're going to have different experiences. And mine just so happened to be through marriage. And so now I just want to share what I think are some of the most important things to know if you want to have a successful, healthy dynamic. And when I came into this marriage, I was not healthy at all. I still had a lot of unresolved trauma that I thought I healed. I went with this saying like, oh, you need to be healed before you get into a relationship. When if you're single and by yourself, yeah, you feel like you're healed, but chances are there's probably still stuff going on underneath the surface, because it's not until you interact with somebody and they bring up those triggers that you actually realize like, oh snap, I actually do have some more stuff going on underneath the surface. So I'm going to give you guys the top 5 tips. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you would like a part 2, because when I tell you I've learned a lot. These last 4 years have been jam-packed with lots of lessons, and I have just chosen to handle them with grace, and to just like come out better. I'm just so grateful for my husband and his patience and his love, and just everything that he's done for me over these years, as I have been navigating, like coming into womanhood. The transition from like 25 to 30 is violent. It is violent. And for me, it was just crazy, because I feel like I changed so much. And like, obviously we're always going to be changing throughout our lifetime. But those 5 years, I don't know, like it was crazy. And so, like I said, I want to be a resource and help, because as someone that really wanted to be married, like I know what that feels like to desire marriage, and to want it, and to feel like you're unsuccessful at getting that. And so, yeah, I hope this video really helps you to just cultivate a better mindset and a better approach to dating. I ain't no dating coach at all. I'm just a girl that's passionate about personal development, mindset, and being happy and finding myself. That's it. That is all that I am. So this is more about like mindset and about yourself. We're just connecting it to marriage, because like I said, marriage has been a big part of my journey these last 4 years, and it's helped me to find myself. So let's get into it. So number 1 is having a victim mentality. And this applies, everything I'm going to tell you applies to all areas of life. But if you want to have a successful marriage, relationship, if you want to just have even a good life, you cannot have a victim mentality, meaning that you cannot have the belief that things are happening to you, and that you are like this helpless being, that you have no control over your circumstance. And it's like, things have happened to us when we were children, and maybe we were victims at that time, but now we are adults, and we have a choice. And I don't want to sound insensitive, because things do happen that are outside of our control. As long as you have a victim mentality, you stay stuck there and you can't evolve out of that, and things will constantly keep happening because you believe that things are happening to you. And I had a victim mentality for some years, and once I'm telling you, there was like a significant before and after once I finally, like, the realization came to me, like, I'm not a victim. I am not a victim. Like, I have a choice to think differently. And once I took full responsibility for my actions and the role that I play, everything changed. Because I can't change the other. We can't change the other person. People are who they are. They do what they do. The only thing we have control over is ourselves. And the moment that I just like focused on me, my actions, and my boundaries, that's when things change so much. Because before that, when I was just a victim, it was just like, oh, woe is me. You're going and complaining to people. They're sympathizing with you. But where's the solution? That's not a solution. Staying stuck in the problem is not a solution. And once I transferred out of that victim mindset, it really just helped me to take responsibility for my life and my actions and the role that I play. Because in all dynamics, we make up half of that dynamic. And so if you want things to change, you have to change. And once that was so powerful for me, that it's like, instead of allowing this behavior, I need to change first. Because once you change, the other half of the dynamic changes. And it's crazy how you would think it's like magic the way that it happens. Like, and when you focus more on your own change, literally it's crazy what happens. And I think this is important for women to know, because I see so many women like blaming men for the way that they're treating them and the way that the things that they're doing. And don't get me wrong, these men they're wrong for what they're doing, blah, 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 blah. We can't do nothing about that. The real question is, why do you keep attracting men like that? You know, like, that's the real question. And like, I had to really look at myself. It's like, okay, I'm the common denominator in all of these dynamics and all of these relationships. So it's like, you know, like, I kind of got to start looking at myself, because it's like, if every guy that comes into my life, if all my friendships, I'm having the same dynamic, at some point I am not the victim. Like, I need to take accountability, because obviously I'm doing something to attract this. And I really do believe the people in our lives are mirrors, and that same dynamic will keep playing out until we like learn the lesson. So you have to learn the lesson in whatever it is that's happening for people, then to grow out of that and to attract better. I hope that makes sense, of just like taking responsibility for your actions and making it less about the other person, because people are we have no control. We literally cannot control what people do. And it's like, the moment I like kind of release that control of like trying to control another person's actions, I was able to just move forward. Like, just like relinquish that. It's such a false sense of control anyway, because we can't control what other people do. So yeah, you need to move from victimhood to empowerment, and just know that you have a choice. You have a choice to think different thoughts. You have a choice to release the past and not be victimized by what happened to you, and learn from it and let it be a lesson to make you better and not bitter. And I think that is so important, because if you stay stuck in victimhood and that bitterness, it's just a cycle that's going to repeat itself. And if you want to have a healthy dynamic, healthy friendships, healthy marriage, you need to change the way that you are perceiving what is happening to you. You have to see it as a moment, an opportunity for you to heal and release the past. When things happen to me, when I tell you I was ready to crash out, I did multiple times, dozens of times. Now that I have more control over myself, I can actually stop, I can breathe, and I count to 10. I literally count to 10 now, like, to break that cycle. If I wanted to like go off, if that was what I would normally do, now I count to 10. Count to 10 first and breathe. I'm telling you, it's so small, but it works. And it's like, once you do that, you can kind of like calm yourself down, like, and not just be like, just like think about that. All these things are just happening on a daily, and it's just taking you on an emotional roller coaster all day. Do you like, I don't want to be whipped around, like, like, get me off of this fucking ride. And so it's like, we can't control what's happening on the outside, but we can control the inside. And so like, that is what I've been focused on, is like having my internal, what's the word I want to use? I don't know, but like the way I feel internally to be grounded, because things are going to always happen. I go outside. First of all, I live in New York. You can only imagine the shit that's going on all day long in the city. So it's like, imagine if I'm reacting to every single thing that's happening. Can you imagine how exhausting that is? It's fucking exhausting. I had to learn how to like ground my inner world and like make it peaceful in here, because it's like the outer is not, it's so much going on. It's not peaceful, and I can't control that, but I can control how I feel. And if I have peace within, that was very important to me. And I feel like once I like really grasp that, of not having a victim mentality anymore, things improve so much in all areas of my life. And I feel like things like situations where I would feel victimized in stop happening to me, because I'm not a victim. So, all right. This one was really big too. Number 2 is understanding dynamics of masculine and feminine energy. Before we go any further, because I know it's a lot of talk on the internet about being feminine energy, like it literally, like even saying that word makes me want to throw up, because the way that it's just like used on social media. And just hear me out before, I promise you this is not no femininity coach type of video. Just listen, because this is something that I really had to learn. So in any dynamic, someone is the feminine, someone is the masculine. It is just what it is. It's polarity, it's energy, it's the yin, it's the yang, it's the way that it works. If you want to be with a masculine energy man and you are operating in your masculine energy, you are going to repel him. He's not going to want to be with you. And before you go any further, I know it's a lot of feminine men out there these days, but saying that he needs to be more masculine before you be more feminine is asinine. If your natural state is feminine, you will not attract masculine men. They will be repelled. Just like masculine men will be repelled by that, its opposites have to attract. I think about this when I was in my younger 20s, and the kinds of guys that I dated and the mentality that I was in. I was a hustle boss babe. That was me, working 10 plus hours a day, from down to the way I was physically to internally. And don't get me wrong, I do appreciate that when I was single, my masculine energy was able to step up for me at that time and carry me through, because masculine energy is not bad. It's just not, as a woman, it's not our natural state. We still need masculine energy. So this is not to bash masculine women, masculine energy, none of that. It's just not our natural state. And I was with very feminized women. I was with very feminized men in my 20s, because I was operating more from a masculine space, which makes sense when you think about my upbringing and the uncertainty that I had, and just not feeling and just wanting to feel secure. We begin to operate from that masculine energy because we're seeking security. Like women, naturally, we seek security, and whatever we can do to find it, we will. Sometimes that means us stepping up our own masculine energy and providing for ourselves. And so now I understand, and I'm very grateful for that version of me, because man, we don't even have enough testosterone to be operating from masculine energy like that. So the fact that all those years, I give myself so much grace. That version of me, I love her. She got the job done. She was making it happen. It's not sustainable, and it doesn't work in a healthy dynamic of masculine and feminine energy. And I really had to learn how to just allow myself to trust more and be in feminine energy. And it's been a process to just really learning how to trust when I have felt like I have not been able to trust men. That was like a deep wound for me, because my dad wasn't there. I was raised by my stepdad. So I had a deep wound of trust by the masculine. Now, can you imagine how conflicting that is, to desire to be married to a masculine man, but also to not trust masculine energy. Do you hear the mind fuck that would cause within the conflict? Like, that's why it's like you have to, and that is exactly why you have to heal your own dynamic so that you can attract better. Because if you're a woman operating primarily from feminine energy, you will repel these sassy niggas, because yeah. And now looking back, hindsight is 2020, but now I just have such like a better understanding of like what was going on, and it was just the dynamic was off. So like I really encourage you to just get more in tune with your feminine energy for yourself, because I feel like there's a lot of like performative femininity that's like taught out there as just a way to get a man, when really it's like feminine energy is a gift to yourself. It's who we are. And so to give that to yourself and be in that feels so good, and you have to nourish that every single day. And it's crazy, like I just realized, like for so long, like the romance and the love that I've been desiring really has just been my own feminine energy. Once I realized that like what I've been craving is my own feminine energy, I have felt so full. And it's like, it really is a gift to yourself. And that's why these videos are all about yourself. Like, yes, it talks about for marriage, but this is really to become more whole within yourself. And like, that has been like what marriage has helped me to do, has to just become more whole within myself. And it led me back to my feminine energy, because I did not know. Like, I did not know what like the true dynamics at play of what it meant to be in my feminine energy. And early on, when I first started learning about it about 5 years ago, I was doing it in a very performative way, because that's just what I was taught. That's what I learned off of social media. And the thing is like feminine energy is not something you can teach, because it's something we already are. It's something we already possess, and trying to do it, the moment you try to do it, now you're operating out of masculine energy. So it's like just really getting more in tune with yourself, and your natural state is all that it takes. And it's like yourself, however you express yourself, like that's okay. Number 3, and this one was there, I mean, they were all big for me, but release triggers. Do you know that is what I feel like that is what a toxic relationship is just two people that are always triggered, and they don't know they have no emotional control. like that's it. They're just triggering the hell out of one another back and forth, and they don't know how to control it. And when I tell you, I was so triggered, oh my God, like y'all will hear me talk about triggers a lot on my channel, because that was, I just did not realize like how big, like, oof. Anyways, but you have to release those triggers, or else you will be in a toxic relationship. Like, that is literally, like I said, that's what I feel like a toxic relationship is. And so the thing with triggers is that you can, now don't get me wrong, if you're being abused and it's like verbal, like physical abuse, that's not what I'm talking about. Like, obviously get the hell out of there safely. In a dynamic where you're constantly being triggered, it's really not about the other person. I know it feels like it, but it's not. You could break up with that person and be like, oh, I'm never dating again. And then you go to work, and then your boss is triggering the same shit out of you. And then you quit your job and you go to a different job. And now you moving, you got to move in with your mom. And now your mom is triggering the same shit in you. It don't matter where you go. You cannot run away from those triggers. And you have to heal your triggers. I think healing triggers is important. It's like I said, this video is about self. You have to heal your triggers for yourself to have a better life. And it's like, the thing is with the trigger is that you have to release the original wound. If you got triggered because little Susie pushed you down the slide when you were 5 years old, and that made you develop a wound of betrayal. So now you have felt this wound of betrayal for 20 plus years, and you haven't done anything about it. Every time anything remotely feels like when little Susie pushed you off the slide, you're going to be triggered. when all you need to do is go release that original wound. That's all a trigger wants. It is not that deep. A trigger just wants to be released. It wants to be acknowledged and it wants to be released. And the thing is that we're trying to run away from that feeling. We're running away from the feeling of being betrayed. That's why people, they try to drink it away, and they use all these different substances and do all these different things to mask it, because they're trying to run away from it. But it's like, you cannot run away. You can't run away from yourself. Like, you take you wherever you go. And so just knowing that a trigger just wants to be acknowledged and released is so like liberating, that it won't take you all these years to heal. I feel like when it does take years to heal, it's because we get stuck in it. We get stuck in like the story of it and what this person did and how they made me feel, and you just get stuck there. You cannot get stuck in the story. And once you're able to not get stuck in the story and like move past it, I believe that that's where the healing really happens. Number 4 is you have to cultivate a strong sense of self. And as someone that's been on a journey of like really finding myself, this has been pivotal for me, because like just knowing yourself and being grounded and rooted in who you are as a woman is so important. And like, when I tell you, I have had just like this version that I am today, I love so much, and I feel so connected to myself. I felt like for years I didn't really know who I was. I was trying to find who I was. And, you go different ways about like trying to find yourself. Like, we find people that are like representatives of who we would like to be, and they're where we want to be. So we kind of look up to them, whether it's influencers or celebrities. And we use all these different like outside things to try to find ourselves, when really it's more about like going within. For example, like I remember like being out at a club one day and I'm like, this is not fun to me. Like, I really have to be in like a mood to like party. And I'm like, it's not fun to me to really like go out and drink, like, and like just even that realization, finding like what's fun to Jamie, what do I enjoy doing, like outside of what is I see on social media or what I enjoyed 10 years ago. Who am I and what do I enjoy? Like, and just really like cultivating like that sense of self. And like I said, now I just feel so connected to who I am, and I love it. Like, it feels so good to be so involved in myself. There's different points in time in my marriage where I felt like overly consumed with my marriage, just trying to improve it and just trying to like cultivate this deeper connection between the two of us. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but I think what serves women best is when we focus more on ourselves, and we release that need to try to like work on the relationship so much. It's not to say that I don't work on my relationship, but I feel much happier when I focus more on myself and my own happiness, because then that radiates out. And then I feel like in turn, men want to see us happy. So they will they will just like add to that. Whereas before, like I felt like I needed to feel a certain way with my husband to be happy, when in reality is that no, happiness is an inside job. Stop being fucking miserable, because I was miserable, just always complaining about something. Like, girl, shut the fuck up. What now? And it's like, now I feel a lot happier on my own. And right now what I'm really working on is like not being miserable, like unnecessarily, and just like not suffering. Like, little things happen throughout the day and you just like get annoyed by it. And I'm like, you know what? Like, I am not about to let this ruin my day. Like, I am not. I feel so much better and just not like letting myself, I don't know, I lost my train of thought. But yeah, you have to just you have to really like find yourself. And like another thing that I'm focused on right now is like nourishing my body, and like, I'm changing my diet. I'm trying to do I won't even say diet. I'm changing my lifestyle to just low sodium and just eating healthier whole foods, and like me focusing on that and the foods that I'm consuming in my body, the way my mind, like my state, my emotional state, my well-being, and like putting all my intention on that has helped me to feel a lot more fulfilled. And I know that there may be moms that are listening to this that do not have that luxury, and I send my heart out to you, because I don't know what that's like to have other people depending on you. But I will say is that as women, we just have to focus on our bodies and stay connected to our bodies, however that looks for you. Just pouring into yourself every single day. Like, I have fallen in love. With just like me. And I'm just so sad that all those years I didn't realize what I was looking for was myself. And I was looking outside of myself for that fulfillment, when it's like the whole time it was really inside of me. I'm a crier, but I'm not gonna cry. I don't think I'm gonna cry. So yeah, like, if you are feeling like this emptiness within you because you feel like a void, whether it's an emotional void or whatever the void is, just know, if you pour into yourself, I promise that void will be filled. Because it's like, even if someone else pours into that void, it's not sustainable to depend on someone else to fill our voids. You know, like, say you have a cup and it's empty, and one day they come in and pour a water in it and you drink it, and the next day you're expecting them to do the same thing, but then the next day they don't realize that they haven't filled your cup, so they drink all the water. So now you're left, it's like, well, damn, you did it yesterday, why didn't you do it today? But it's like that void, we that is our responsibility to fill that void. And oh man, and just, yeah, I just hope that you find what fills your void inside of you, because you have the answers. No one else has it. And yeah, for number 5, I was going to do something else, but now it's something that just came to me. And I think this one is more important. Maybe we'll talk, if you guys want a part 2, I'll do the original one on the list. But you have to stop hating men. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But you have to stop hating them. Don't get me wrong. As someone that was a pick-me, trust me, that felt like I needed to like prove myself to men, but then also hating them. It's a sick, twisted sight. Like, I don't understand it. But I'm saying that from that you cannot hate men now from a healed space, and now appreciating the masculine in my life. I read a book, and it talked about how men, like, how we are dependent on men, and like, you know, women are like, oh, you know, I won't depend on a man, da 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 da. But it's like, we are dependent on men, and it's okay to depend on men. And in the book, it says how men built the house that you're living in, the TV, the cell phone. Men built a huge portion of this society that we're functioning in. Men are the backbone of this society. And like, to say that you hate men and you won't depend on them, when they are literally the reason why, like, day to day, the car you drive was probably made by a man, just everything. And when I heard that, like, it just really like changed my perspective of like, to just appreciate men. Think about all the construction workers and all that they do, and just like all the different jobs that men hold that like make our society function. And it just really made me to change my perspective on my relationship with the masculine. And it's like, even though I was let down by men in my life, it's okay. That taught me in the long run how to love myself more. And obviously I needed those experiences to help me grow, because now I'm better because of those experiences. And now I decide that I don't have to go through those like hard traumatic lessons to learn. Like, no, I get to learn in an easy, soft way. I ain't gotta go through that ghetto shit no more. We didn't done all that. Give me the soft, easy lessons now. But but yeah, if you desire to be married, but you hate men, you think men are trash, and you berate them, I really, really encourage you to try to appreciate the masculine energy in general, like in what it does and how it protects us. And yeah, there's dirtbags out there, but I believe it's still perspective and what you choose to focus on. And I think healing your dynamic with the masculine will be really big in attracting better partners, I should say. Because if you're only focused on men who cheat, even if that's all, even if that's like the content you consume, yeah, he just cheated on her, and you're consuming content that's like, and you're talking about like, that's what you're focused on. So if you can, I think it's important to like see better examples in your life and make that your reality, because our reality is just what we choose to focus on. So if you only see on your timeline healthy dynamics, beautiful love stories and romance this and just all of this, that's what you're going to focus on. But it's like focusing on it is not enough. You have to pull those thorns out, and you have to just really change, like I said, change your dynamic with the masculine and learn to appreciate it. And like I said, I feel so bad when I think about, for all those years, how I was just such like a man hater, but still wanting to be with a man. Like, girl, pick a side. But yeah, that has been really big for me. And I find that like men are so willing to help, and they are so willing to like make our lives easier. There's a saying, a man that loves you will swim in shark infested water. And it's just changed, like, oh my God. Like, and I just want to promote that more, because I see so many women online just talking shit about men and just like how they hate men, and they want to, like they've just been so scorned, and it's pushed them to a point of just like hating men so bad. And it makes me so sad, because don't get me wrong, niggas have done some shit to me too. But like now I've learned, like, who cares? I don't even see, I can't even remember like what happened at this point. Like, I feel so far removed from those experiences that I just, like, I don't even have this like negative memory of things that have happened to me. Like, I really tried to think about it, and I'm like, who cares? Honestly, it's over. Like, and all I get to do now is just choose to have a new perspective and like have a better experience. So yeah. But I am going to end this video here, because I don't want it to be too long. I could talk about this all day. Like I said, I love all things personal development. I love perfume. I love makeup. I love looking good. I love traveling, shopping. I love it all. And so that's what my channel is really going to be about. It's just like leveling up your mindset so you can have a better life, showing up for yourself, pouring into yourself, all things self-love, care, just all of that. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found some useful information here, and I hope you stick around and join this community. I really want community on YouTube. Like, I've been on here for a long time, and I took a long break, but I'm back, and I'm ready to come back and just show up differently. And so I hope you stick around, and leave me a comment below your takeaway from this video, and I'll see you in my next one.